Okay. According to Athens City Code Section 230710C, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board makes specific findings of fact based directly on the particular evidence presented to it that the standards and conditions imposed in this title, if applicable, have been met by the applicant. Exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to achievement of public purposes. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of the said property for which variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of a general or recurrent of a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens aggrieved by a decision of the board may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the applicant. There's only one case on tonight's agenda, and the case is 14-07V, 97 Columbus Road. Devil's Kettle Brewing is the applicant. The board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Be seated. Again, case 1407V is Zone B3 at 97 Columbus Road. Appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 230407A8 to allow a brewery less than 100 feet from an R1 zone where a minimum distance of 100 feet is the requirement. And the question for the code, if there is any additional information we need to know?
Just to let you know that this is about the third time this has come up within the past year and a half, 2 years, where I've been considering these breweries, bottling works, keg, putting it in keg, wherever it may be. The first one was over on Stimson Road, the Stimson Avenue with the tap room that Jackie O's owns. That one was within 100 feet, and they came through the meeting board and got its variance. The other one did not have to come through the board. It was the annexation recently of the Coladas property out on Armitage Road, where that gentleman is moving forward with pretty much the same use. So to stay consistent, I have considered all three of them under this realm right here. The building is approximately 67 to 70 feet away from the property line. Code requires that it be 100 feet from an R zone. The R zone on this one happens to be his easternmost property line. So then I'm measuring from the building itself as it exists. And then, so that you're aware of it, he does own the R properties just adjacent to the east of it as well. So but it is his property and it's owned R, so.
Thank you, Mr. Vasky. Any questions for the code office?
So basically, yeah, just a quick one, what you're saying, Mr. Paskey, is that the R1 that we're bordering on is owned by the applicant.
That is correct.
Beyond his property, it's more than 100 feet?
I can't go beyond his property of the R. I can only go to the property line. So
I
from the
see.
building to his R zone property line is about 67, 70 feet, somewhere in that area. So, and then you got the width of his property, which would put it greater than 100, but we can't look at it that way as far as us approving it. But I just want to let you know that he does own that property. And then also, then there's a road beyond that before it gets to the rest of the R zone.
Okay, that hill,
Terrace.
is that the hillside that's behind that building that
Yeah.
we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now you have a chance to state your case. Please state your full name and your address for the board.
My name is Cameron Fuller. I live at 51 Fair.
We'll probably still want to go up there.
Should I still stand up there? Okay. My name is Cameron Fuller. My address is 51 Fairview, Athens, Ohio. Essentially, the intention of the regulation is to create a buffer between my type of business and any type of residential holding. As Mr. Paskey spoke, the nearest residential zone is owned by me. Therefore, the distance between my proposed building of use and any building or any residential zones beyond that exceeds 100 feet. I measured today, actually, the width of Terrace Road is 20 feet, so anything that Mr. Paskey referred to, you could add 20 feet to, and that's the minimum distance to the other side of the road. I was on the auditor's website today, and I was noticing that there's even a buffer zone between the edge of the road and the property lines beyond that. I did not measure the specific distances. However, I recognize that there is one R zone, which I do not own, that I can see being in question. I measured to the edge of the far side of Terrace Road today, and I came up with 93 feet. I understand that is less than 100. However, on the auditor's website, there is a large area before the edge of that property line. So I don't know exactly where that begins, but that would suggest that that does exceed 100 feet. Essentially, I do not want to change any use of this. I want to maintain the same use of B3 as anyone who has a B3 or is deep within the B3 would want. And I have received lots of support from neighbors. One is attending here tonight, and also businesses that are nearby on Columbus Road. I believe that my business can be a great addition to the Columbus corridor and be a gateway into Athens, because there's a lot of traffic and there's very little things to attract people to that part of town. I don't know, I think it will greatly affect the traffic or air quality or light in any way. I recognize that it could create some smells, but with AceNet and other food-related businesses nearby, it will pale in comparison to those. So any impact from that should be negligible. I don't believe there's anything else I want to say right now. If you have any questions for me, I will gladly answer them.
Questions?
Well, just a quick question. When you bought this property from the previous owner, was this one total packet, all of these lots?
Yes,
Did they
it
also
was.
own the rear hillside that was in R1?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about the odor? Like, I don't, what is AceNet?
AceNet is the incubator for many food-related businesses such as Shagbark. Not to know, Shagbark's in a different
Oh,
building.
where are they? on there? Are they close by? Right.
They're directly across the street from
Okay.
me. It's where Crumb's Bakery is,
Okay.
and Frog Ranch is based out of there, particularly Frog Ranch. The odors created by that are far more potent than the brewing, in which case I will only be brewing once or twice a week. And brewing has pretty much a similar odor to baking of bread. It's essentially the same ingredients, and I'm just boiling those grains instead of baking them.
What's the volume that you're hoping to produce? I mean,
I'm going to be producing brewing on a 20-barrel system, so it's going to be similar in size to Jackie O's. However, they've been far more established than I am, so they brew far more often and produce a much larger quantity. I'm going for a much larger system to begin with, so that I will be able to focus on developing my business to begin with, as opposed to just trying to keep up with demand by brewing all the time.
Maybe the brewing is small will cancel off that onion smoke from across the street.
I hope so.
This is not going to be a place for public to come in and visit or drink or tour or sample.
That is something that I might pursue down the road, but that is not in the current plans.
Okay.
and do you know like how many employees and?
Initially, I'm kind of scrapping by just to get this business up and going, so I'll probably only begin with 3 to 5 employees. But this is a business that conceivably grow to something comparable to Jackie O's, where I would estimate that they have close to 100 between their entire operation.
If there's no question, then you may be seated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, you didn't intend to speak tonight, did you? In either for or opposed?
You've been sitting
I have
quiet.
written communication.
Did you swear? Yes.
I was just going to say, when you get to the part about anybody who wishes to speak in favor, we received 2 letters. That
Oh, okay.
we
Okay.
were allowed to.
Okay, sure. Yes. Okay, let's say at this point, is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this proposal? Various. Yes, sir.
Again, received 2 letters last week. First one is from Brian Rollins and Pamela Rollins of 10 Riverview Drive. To whom it may concern, this letter concerns the granting of a variance for Devil's Kettle Microbrewery located on Columbus Road in Athens, Ohio. We reside at 10 Riverview Drive, which is located near the proposed microbrewery. We believe that a business of this type would be a valuable economic asset to our city, as well as adding positive aspects to the cultural and economic life of our neighborhood. We support businesses locating on Columbus Road as opposed to the already congested East State Street. As owners of the local business, Mountain Laurel Gifts, LLC, we understand the difficulties involved in starting and operating a small business in the climate of this community. We have met Mr. Fuller and are impressed with his dedication and creative vision for the future growth of his business establishment. We are strongly in favor of the variance to be granted for the operation of Devil's Kettle Brewery. And again, that's from Brian Rollins and Pamela Rollins of 10 Riverview. Second letter, attention, due to illness, this is from Raymond Abraham of 10 Terrace Drive. Due to illness, I am unable to attend meeting Tuesday, the 10th of June, 2014. I hereby give 100% approval, allowing a brewery for Devil's Kettle Brewery for property located at 97 Columbus Road, Athens, Ohio. My only request would be that if the bright lights that are used at Southeast Import installed be reset. These lights have been shining in windows of my home and cause hazardous conditions for traffic coming down the terrace and Joneswood Drives. Respectfully submitted, Raymond J. Abraham, 10 Terrace Drive.
Well, thank you. Thank you for reading it into the records. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment or in opposition? Okay. Would you like to add anything more? Okay, thank you.
You did say those lights, I mean, there's not an issue with lights, right?
I would gladly take down the excessive bright lights. I imagine there's probably a drain on my electrical bill. I do not need the security that an auto lock did.
Okay, the discussions from the floor is closed, and we could either discuss further among ourselves or someone may make a motion.
I'll make, okay. Okay, I move that we consider a variance in the case 1407V, 97 Columbus Road, that we consider a variance from Athens City Code 230407A8 to allow a brewery less than 100 feet from an R1 zone where a minimum distance of 100 feet is the requirement.
A second.
Again, I'm not going to read the whole findings, exceptional circumstances. Are there exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question?
I guess I would say that the exceptional circumstances would be that it is a business lot, but it just happens to be very closely juxtaposed within our R1 zone.
It's also exceptional that when whoever drew the map drew it right behind that first set of lots and,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and excluded the one that is logically right there.
And I think Ed said, we don't know like how really buildable.
Well, that is definitely the exception, the hillside, which
Right.
is an R1, but what could you do with it?
Right.
Especially given its shape.
Exactly.
Okay, and because of what we just discussed, would we be creating hardship, which is undue hardship, if we literally enforce of this regulation?
Yes.
It would be, yes, I agree. Preservation of equal property rights.
Yeah, there are other, there are multiple businesses along that route, and this would fit in with
Yeah,
those, so
right.
I think we're not making an exception.
Is this minimum variance?
Yes.
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 Very close, yeah. Absence of detriment.
Well, obviously, we have at least two people very
In
adjacent
favor.
to this property that spoke in favor, so.
Yes.
And not of a general nature.
Not yet.
Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Baum?
Yes.
Ms. Carson?
Yes.
Ms. Krainansky?
Yes.
Ms. Stolper?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well, so you have the variance. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
The actual case took 7 minutes. The getting ready for it took a lot longer.
And we don't need to be concerned about the name Devil's Kettle.
Devil's Kettle. Devil's Brew.
Obviously, the neighbors aren't suspicious enough, they just want the lights
We are
out.
still in the meeting, so let me, disposition of the minutes from May 13, 2014.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Okay. And I think that's all.
Have a vote on it.
I think we have to vote.
We have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the motion carried. Thank you.